guys, and welcome to another kit review. And as you can see today, we're having a look at another Tiger One. Okay, so today looking at the Tiger One Ausfuhrung Afrika from Tamiya in 1/35th scale. Okay, and this is the Tiger One initial production model. Okay, so these were sent to Africa to bolster the war effort due to the let's just say turn of events in Africa. They were shipped by rail from Germany all the way down to the bottom of Italy, and then they were shipped across the Mediterranean by ferry, yes, large ferries, straight across to North Africa, Tunisia. Remarkably enough, no tigers were lost on that journey, and they all ended up in North Africa. Okay, so this is the initial production. So the initial production, although it looks like a tiger, when they first came out, they had quite a few small differences. As you can see, this has slotted exhaust shrouds. These ones were actually used almost exclusively by the 501st Swear Panzerabteilung in North Africa. Had slightly different Feifel air filters. Did not have the escape hatch on the back of the turret. It actually had another pistol port and a smaller stowage bin on the turret. Side mudguards had a kink in the middle instead of a straight line, and the front mudguards were actually checker plate. Apart from that, this is your Tiger One. Okay, so that's what you get. Standard Tamiya box art, white background, really nice rendition of the tiger. Okay, on the side again, same thing. This one here is 501's Tiger 731. Okay, it says monotone dark yellow scheme. That's actually not correct. Okay, it was not a dark yellow color scheme in Tunisia. No, actually, the color scheme in Africa is the one that you see on Tiger 131 at the Tank Museum. It is in actual fact RAL 8000, which is a, see, RAL 8000 was Gelb Braun, and RAL 7008, which is Grau Green. Okay, these are the colors that were mandated for use on vehicles going to Africa. So internet references, if you're unsure, check out 131 at the Tank Museum, Bovington. Okay, that is actually painted in the correct colors, and that is an initial Tiger One hull with modifications. Okay, anyway, enough of that. So standard box. On the side, as I said, okay, usual 3 views. You do get a commander figure with this in Afrika Korps uniform. On the other side, you do have some suggested color schemes. So these are the 4 tanks that Tamiya puts out: your initial, your early, your mid, and your late. And surprisingly enough, they're not included in the box. So if anybody thought they were, sorry, they're not. And it just shows you that overall it looks like a tiger, but there were minor differences. And this is the top-down view of your actual Tiger One initial. Okay, so that's the box. Let's have a look inside. Instructions. Okay, modern instructions because they have 4 languages on there. Have got a decal application sheet and painting. So this is a Swear Abteilung. So I get it always wrong. Swear Panzerabteilung 501. Okay, so a couple of different color, numbers. That's about it. Usual warnings. Okay. Oh look, there's my little note about the colors, and there's your colors. Okay. Alright, those are the colours, and they show your Vallejo colours numbers. Rail 8000 is the German green brown. Rail 7008 is the camouflage grey green in Vallejo colours. So if you don't use Vallejo, I'm pretty sure you could probably find your own suppliers. First bag out is the turret and upper hull, and just looking at it now, it does seem like a small tank. But then again, it is a Tiger. Okay. Then of course you've got your standard hull tub. These are your additional bits, and I suspect these are probably specific for the initial production because they are different 5-volt air conditioners, okay, different piping, etc, etc, and pistol ports and things. So I think this is your initial Tiger bits and pieces. Next bag out is your decal sheet plus your stowage and the gun barrel, etc. Then the next bag is your, and this will be your yes, this will be your initial Tiger stowage bin, front of the tank. Okay, these are your front mudguards with the checker plate and your commander. And next one out is your wheels. Okay, 2 screws in that one. As usual, I did get myself a genuine Tamiya photo etch grill set for this tank and your vinyl tracks. Okay, so that's what's in the box. In a second we'll have a look at the instructions and the decals. Okay, so let's have a look at the instructions. Okay, standard Tamiya instructions. I'll put that aside for now. Oops, sorry, they go away. Alright, brief history of the vehicle in 4 different languages: Japanese, French, German, and English. Okay, this is a photo of the actual kit itself. Alright, overleaf, you've got the usual warnings. Okay, what to look for, warning, warning, and your color callouts all in Tamiya colors. Okay, so normal references for your own paint supplier. And then literally we start on the suspension, torsion bar suspension, and the lower hull. So this, anyone who's built a Tamiya Tiger will know how this works. You've got your drive sprockets, your standard running wheels, okay, your idler, and the interleaved wheel system. Okay, and it is quite simple, quite straightforward. Alright, so take your time, read the instructions, and you shouldn't have a problem. Okay, and it just carries on putting the wheels on both sides, the outer wheels as well. Okay, so this being an initial production, it does have the full set of wheels. Then we get to the front of and the engine deck. Okay, so you do have a completely new front to the tank hull. Right, the initial production tanks had a stereoscopic viewer mounted above the driver's vision slit. Okay, I think this was only in the first 50 or so tanks, and then they got rid of that, and tanks that, or I should say hulls, okay, that had those 2 holes drilled, and I'll show you when we get to the sprues anyway, just had the holes filled. Tiger 131, for instance, if you look at photos of 131, she has her holes, those 2 holes above the driver's vision slit, they're both been filled. So she has an early hull, an initial hull that has been fixed because she doesn't, or she wasn't issued the stereoscopic viewer. Okay, and then we carry on with the tracks, which is the standard vinyl tracks. Okay, these we'll glue together because they're new tracks. Fairly simple, straightforward construction for this Tiger. You've got your front plate going on with the checker plate mudguards for an initial tank. Rear pieces, exhaust pipes, etc. going on. This is your fivefold air cleaners. Okay. Yes, I said the initial version has slightly different fivefolds. Then your tools and your jack are going on. Spare track links are going on the back here. You may want to leave some of these off until you've painted the tank. And then you've just got your tubing. Okay, so tubing is completely separate. The original Tigers back in this, issued by Tamiya back in the 70s, I remember building one of those, and that had rubber tubing. These ones don't have rubber tubing, they have special tubing that looks more like the real thing. And then it's just getting on to fitting the hatches, and yes, you can have the hatches open if you want to. There is no interior, of course. Cables going on, your tow cables, etc., and your cleaning etc. Tools. Okay, so fairly straightforward, standard build. You do get a reasonable gun breech. It's not highly detailed, but that's basically the only interior you're going to get for your turret. Okay. Unfortunately, it's a two-part barrel. You can go aftermarket if you want to get a single metal barrel, but you know, depends on how much you want to spend. This kit only cost me about $45 or something Australian. So an aftermarket barrel for it's going to be half the price. Is it worth it? Sometimes no. Okay, commander's hatch going on. Overleaf. Okay, so this is where you'll fit the initial version stowage bin. These are your smoke discharges, etc. And that's it. Has color callouts for your Afrika Korps uniformed commander figure. And she's done. Alright, and these are your side skirts going on. So that literally is how you build it. It does give you a painting here for 501 in Tunisia, but it also gives you a separate sheet which has Schwerpanzer Abteilung 501 in Tunisia in 1942, Tunisia 43, and Tunisia 43 with two different numbers for that, and another one for 1942. Okay, so there are two versions that you can build. The differences are minor, literally in just the main one is just the rear shrouds on the exhaust pipes with the slots in them. Okay, so that's the instructions. Next we'll have a look at and these are your decals, standard Tamiya decals. Okay, does have this is Tiger 731, had that particular Tiger and Norbert on it, overwritten by the number. Okay, so you literally only have what, 1, 2, 3, 4 different tank numbers in this. I will show you, for those who haven't got one, this is the Tamiya grill set. Okay, it's right there. Grill set number is 35179. You also get this, as I said, in the early 1970s and what have you, Tigers, you had rubber tube. This is more a cloth tube, and it does give you separate instructions on how to cut it and what length, etc., and how to glue it. So that is very important. Okay, so that's your bits and pieces. In a second, we will have a look at the sprues. Okay, so let's have a look at the sprues, and we'll start off with the usual standard Tamiya hull tub. Okay, some manufacturers have multi-piece hulls where you put the sides and front and back together. Tamiya just goes with the tried and proven hull tub. It means that the whole tank will be square, there's no fuss, there's no drama, and it's solid. Okay, so here you have it. Detail on the sides is not a great deal of detail, but then again, you're not going to see any detail. Once you have the wheels on, you'll see nothing of this here. On the bottom, there's a little bit of a cleanup needed there, and just the access panels for the engine. As you can note, there are two major access panels and a couple of small ones. These access panels are for draining the oil out of the gearbox, the coolant out of the radiators, etc. That's about it. There wasn't really any major access. There's no escape hatch in the bottom of the tank, that kind of thing that you see in movies. You drop a tool in an engine bay of a Tiger tank, good luck trying to get it back again. Okay, so that's the hull tub. Next row out is the hull top. Okay, everyone's seen the Tiger layout. Engine deck, front hatches, rear of the tank, top of the turret, okay, and the turret sides. So as you can see, there's no escape hatch on this one. All right, it did have just pistol ports. All right, there was no escape hatch on the front. Gun mantlet, etc. Really nice detail though. Okay, so this is standard Tamiya quality. It's sharp, it's crisp, it's nice detail. Okay, it's not, you know, $100 tank. This is, like I said, it's a $40-odd tank, but it's a Tamiya, and I know it will go together and come out looking like a Tiger tank without too much of a struggle. Okay, so I'll give you close-ups of all this anyway. So that's a really nice looking hull. Let's have a look at these parts. These parts are specific for the initial version Tiger. Okay, so you've got your side skirts with a slight kink in the middle. You've got your front glasses plate with the two holes for the stereoscopic viewer. Okay, this is the front of the hull plus your checker plate mudguards, right? These are your other bits and pieces, which are basically initial Tiger parts, and your slotted exhaust shrouds, which were used by the 501st. Okay, and your smaller stowage bin. All right, so really nice detail on the uniform for your commander. As you can see, he's got kind of separate arms and a separate head. Let's have a look at his face, see how that goes. Yeah, not super detailed, but as standard Tamiya. I think his ears are probably a little bit too big. Okay, sorry mate, your ears are too big. There we go. There isn't a great deal of detail to be seen on these because there wasn't a great deal of detail. Bolts on the outside. Oops, sorry, that went out of focus. I'll turn that around so it's the right way around. And you can see the two holes above the driver's vision slit. Okay, so if you wanted the model Tiger 131, for instance, you just have to put a little bit of putty in those holes and you're sweet. Okay, check out the other little differences for 131. I think it had only two smoke discharges on the left hand side of the turret, if I remember rightly. For my money, I will probably model this as a Tiger from Schwerpanzer Abteilung 501 with the slotted exhaust shrouds, because it's something quite unusual. And as you can see, there is the checker plate front mudguards, okay, which were exclusively used on the initial version Tiger 1. Okay, so that is that sprue. Next sprue I'll show you is the bits and pieces sprue for the FIFO air conditioners, air filters, sorry, commander's hatch. Okay, so these are all the air filter parts, your tools. I haven't seen any flash on this whatsoever, and it is really nice and crisp. So as I said, this Tiger initial version did not have an escape hatch on the back. It just had an additional pistol port. Okay, so that's really nice detailing. The slots, I would probably open up the slots in the here, which is your commander's cupola, if I could without damaging it too much. Otherwise I just leave them and put a wash on them so it looks black. Okay, so that is the air filter sprue. Next we have got this one. So this is, and as you can tell, there are some parts in here which you won't use. You will not use that stowage box or those front mudguards or these side skirts, but some parts you will use, such as the two-piece gun barrel, the toe chains. Oops, sorry, that went out of focus. Okay, and the other parts, the gun breech. It's fairly basic, but you won't see it anyway. The tools, MT34, which is quite nice looking. Okay, the tools are really nice. So as I said, there is no flash on this. Fairly easy cleanup along the mold lines because it isn't dramatic. Okay, I do like the cable details, although of course you can replace them with aftermarkets if you want to, but apart from that, this is actually a really nice looking kit. I do actually look forward to building this one. And the last is two sprues, exactly the same. These are your wheels, okay? So, as you can see, you got a spade. These are your bottom of the exhausts, your torsion bars, hatch. Okay, so some of these parts you'll not use. For instance, the gun travel lock. But the wheels and things are standard for a Tiger and really didn't change that much throughout production, apart from the final version, which and the late mid ones, which got rid of the outer rubber on the wheels and literally just sandwiched the rubber in between two steel plates. But apart from that, the detail is really nice. The bolt detail is nice. It's clear. Tamiya has numbered these on the insides so that it makes it easier for you to put these together in the right order. But apart from that, that, guys, is almost the last. The only other thing I've got to show you is, of course, the vinyl tracks, which are brand new, shiny, and very, very flexible. And I do like those. Okay, you could replace it with aftermarket, but that comes down to how much you really want to spend on a $40-odd kit. Okay, an aftermarket set of tracks for the Tiger one will cost as much as the kit. All right, and that, guys, is it. That is Tamiya's, sorry, Tiger 1, Ausfuhrung, Afrika. Okay, specifically an initial production Tiger 1 earmarked for North Africa. Okay, so as usual, I hope you got something from this. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for your likes and your subscriptions and your comments. And as usual, guys, until I see you next time, take it easy, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you later.